ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। So namaste once again everyone.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaskaram Guruji.
Namaskaram. Namaste. So we will chant the mantra and then go ahead with the discussion. Tadetat satyam
Tadetat satyam
mantreshu karmani kavayoho yanyah pashyan sthani tretayam bahuda santatani tanyacharatha niyatam satyakama eshavah pantah sukritasya loke. Very good. So after completing the discussion on the Sangati Bhashyam, the introductory Bhashyam, we have entered the first mantra of the second section of the first Mundaka in the last class. And we have, as we have seen in the first section, both Paravidya and Aparavidya were mentioned and their content were described briefly. And in his introduction to the second section, Bhashyakara stated that this section is started for elaborating on these two types of knowledge. And what is the purpose of such elaboration? He said that a person whose ultimate goal in life is moksha, liberation, once he understands the fields of operation of Aparavidya and Paravidya, he will be able to come to the right conclusion about the knowledge he needs to pursue to attain the ultimate goal of moksha. It is just like, in senior school, into 11th, 12th standard and all. Students are exposed to different subjects, biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, etc. What is the purpose? They are all interrelated. So, once the student gets out of the school, if his final goal in life is to become a doctor, then in his college, he can choose a biology along with chemistry as his subject. So the students are exposed to all the subjects so that they can decide what they want to do in life. Similarly, here, the Upanishad is first presenting Aparavidya, later will present the Paravidya also. And some more details of Aparavidya is being given here. Therefore, this detailed information is given for the person to examine, analyze, and come to the understanding that Aparavidya, even though it will certainly help him in fulfilling his dharma, artha, kama goals, Aparavidya, unfortunately, will not deliver the fourth purushartha of moksha. And once he does such an in-depth examination of the pros and cons of both types of knowledge, the seeker of moksha can gain clarity and he will be able to develop vairagyam for aparavidya vishaya, which is the pursuit of dharmartha kama goals. And this will help him to choose Paravidya as the means to attain his goal of moksha. With that end in view, the Upanishad or Acharya Angiras first takes up the discussion on Aparavidya in the following mantra or in the mantra that we are seeing. And this was the import of the introductory bhashya. Then we entered the first mantra of this section and discussed the first quarter of the mantra, Mantreshu karmani kavayah yani apashyan. Here, the Upanishad wants to convey a very important aspect relating to both Aparavidya and Paravidya, which combined together is called the Vedas. Now, what is that? The Upanishad wants to point out that the rishis who have given the Veda mantras to the humanity are not the composers of this mantra. So these mantras, these two types of knowledge, do not suffer from any infirmity, bias, prejudice, errors of omission and commission, etc., which any human composition would suffer from. Therefore, the knowledge contained in the Vedas is not Paurusheya Vishaya. That means they are Apaurusheya Vishaya. Even before the rishis were born, right at the beginning of creation, the Vedas were there along with Bhagavan. At the time of Srishti, it is said that from the breath of the Lord, from the Shwasa of the Lord, the Vedas came out. So for Bhagavan, it was so easy, so simple. Like we are doing breathing, no, involuntarily we breathe, isn't it? Breathing just happens. Similarly, for Bhagavan also, giving out the Vedas was something like an involuntary act, just breathing it out. And therefore, these Vedas are already there in the creation. And the rishis are receiving centers who capture the Veda mantras. And this is expressed in the mantra as Kavayaha Mantreshu Apashyan. And further it is said that the rishis not only saw the mantras, but through the mantras they saw the karmas which were contained in the mantras for a human being to accomplish the four purusharthas, the four types of goals in life. And therefore, through the mantras, the rishis came to know about the various rituals like Agnihotra, etc. Then, in the second quarter of the mantra, says, Tani Tretayam Bahuda Santatani. We have to see from this portion onwards. Tani. Tani is referring to those karmas which were referred to in the first quarter of the mantra. Tani is a relative pronoun. Now, in the first quarter, there is the word Yani. Sorry, Yani is the relative pronoun because it is occurring first. And Tani is the correlative pronoun. So, Yani, Tani. So, Tani, those karmas, Tretayam. Tretayam means in the three Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Sama Veda. So, Tretayam refers to the three Vedas. Now, you will ask, why only three Vedas are mentioned? There is a reason. Because in Atharva Veda, there are no Vedic rituals. Atharva Veda mainly deals with Laukika Vishayas like Arthashastra, Vidya of weapons, medicine, etc. Therefore, these three Vedas only contain the Vedic karmas which one needs to perform for attaining the three Purusharthas. And in the three Vedas, Bahuda, in various ways, Santatani, the karmas are spread or strewn. So the rishis saw these karmas through the mantras, which are spread, which are presented, which are prescribed in various ways in the three Vedas. This is the second quarter. Now, in the third quarter of the mantra, Acharya is giving a message to the entire humanity. He says, Tani acharata niyatam satyakama. So what is he saying? If you are desirous of various karma phala, you better do the Vedic karmas. Again, Tani refers to the karmas referred to in the previous line, Tretayam. Tretayam Bahud Santatani Tani Karmani. Those karmas Acharata. For Sanskrit students, Acharata is a Chandasa Prayoga. It is in the sense of an imperative. Lot Lakara or Vidilinga Lakara you can take. Which means you may do or you should do. May you perform. In fact, it is more in the sense of imperative, like an order, command. Acharata. So Tani, those actions, Niyatam, regularly, necessarily, you should perform. Satyakama hai. Here, this word Satyakama hai is a sambodhana, addressing those people. So here, the Satyam does not mean Satyam Jnanam Anantam, that Satyam. Here Satyam is Vyavaharika Satya Rupa Karma Phalam. So the word Satyam refers to Vyavaharika Satyam, which is Karma Phalam, which is what right in the beginning of the mantra it said. Tad etat Satyam, isn't it? That was what it was said right in the beginning. First, Tad etat Satyam. That is how the mantra starts. So that Satyam is here that Satya Kama hai. So Satya Kama hai means seekers of worldly benefits. All materialistic people are referred to by the word Satya Kama hai. So Satya Kama hai means those who are desirous of karma phala. So here in this mantra, the Acharya is addressing those people who have a desire for karma phala. So, O people desirous of karma phala, may you perform these rituals regularly. And why you should perform these karmas regularly? That is said in the fourth quarter of the mantra. Because yesha vahpanta sukritasya loke. Yesha means this. This means the performance of action, performance of karmas is vaha. Vaha means for you, for all of you. Panta hai, the path. So this performance of the actions is the path for you all. Path for what? Sukritasya loke. Here the word loka has got the meaning of result, karma phala. Sukritasya means well-performed action by you. So, performing the Vedic karmas ordained in the three Vedas is the best path for getting the results of karma. So, if you are desirous of dharma, artha, kama, purusharthas, then this is the best path for you to get the results. So, here in this mantra, Acharya said that there are many karmas prescribed in the Vedas which are seen by the rishis, and may you perform these karmas if you are desirous of the result, if you are desirous of the karma phala, because this is a sure way, that's a right way also of getting the result of karma phala. Thus, apara vidya vishaya in the form of karma is presented here. And mind you, here the whole discussion is on Veda Purva Bhaga, Karma Kanda. That is what is Apara Vidya Vishaya, as we have discussed earlier. Okay, so this is in brief the word meanings of the mantras. Now let us enter the Bhashyam and go a little more deep into all these ideas. It is a very lengthy Bhashyam. We will read the entire Bhashyam in one go, and then we will take the sentences one by one. Okay. Again, my request to all of you, please mute yourself if by mistake you have unmuted. Okay, get ready for chanting along Bhashyam. Tadetat satyam
Tadetat satyam
avitatham
avitatham
kim tat
kim tat
mantreshu
mantreshu
ऋग्वेदाध्याख्येषु
ऋग्वेदादाख्येषु
कर्माणि
कर्माणि
अग्निहोत्रादीनि
अग्निहोत्रादीनि
मन्त्रैरेव
मन्त्रैरेव
प्रकाशितानि
प्रकाशितानि
कवयः
कवयः
वेदाविनः
वेदाविनः
वसिष्ठादयः
वसिष्ठादयः
यानि अपश्यन्
यानि अपश्यन्
दृष्टवन्तः
दृष्टवन्तः
यत्तदेतत्
यत्तदेतत्
सत्यं
सत्यम्
एकान्तपुरुषार्थसाधनत्वात्
एकान्तपुरुषार्थसाधनत्वात्
तानि च
तानि च
वेदविहितानि
वेदविहितानि
ऋषिदृष्टानि
ऋषिदृष्टानि
कर्माणि
कर्माणि
त्रेतायां
त्रेतायाम्
त्रयीसंयोगलक्षणायां
त्रयीसंयोगलक्षणायाम्
होत्राद्वद्यवौद्गात्र
होत्राद्वयौद्गात्र
होत्र
होत्र
अध्वर्य
अध्वर्य
औद्गात्र
औद्गात्र
प्रकारायां
प्रकारायाम्
अधिकरणभूतायां
अधिकरणभूतायाम्
बहुधा बहुप्रकारं
बहुधा बहुप्रकारम्
तन्ततानि
सन्ततानि
प्रवृत्तानि
प्रवृत्तानि
कर्मिभिः
कर्मिभिः
क्रियमाणानि
क्रियमाणानि
त्रेतायां वा
त्रेतायां वा
युगे
युगे
प्रायशः
प्रायशः
प्रवृत्तानि
प्रवृत्तानि
अतो यूयम्
अत योऽयम्
तानि आचरत
तानि आचरत
निर्वर्तयत
निर्वर्तयत
नियतं
नियतं
नित्यं
नित्यं
सत्यकामाः
सत्यकामाः
यथा भूतकर्मफलकामाः
यथा भूतकर्मफलकामाः
सन्तः
सन्तः
एषः वः
येषः वः
युष्माकं
युष्माकं
सन्ताः
सन्ताः
मार्गः
मार्गः
सुकृतस्य
सुकृतस्य
स्वयं निवर्तितस्य
स्वयं निर्वर्तितस्य
स्वयं निर्वर्तितस्य
स्वयं निर्वर्तितस्य
कर्मणः
कर्मणः
लोके
लोके
फलनिमित्तं
फलनिमित्तं
लोक्यते
लोक्यते
दृश्यते
दृश्यते
भुज्यते
पूज्यते
इति कर्मफलम्
इति कर्मफलम्
लोक उच्यते
लोक उच्यते
तदर्थं
तदर्थं
तत्प्राप्तये
तत्प्राप्तये
एष मार्गः
एष मार्गः
इत्यर्थः
इत्यर्थः
यान्येतानि
यान्येतानि
अग्निहोत्रादीनि
अग्निहोत्रादीनि
त्रय्यां विहितानि
त्रय्यां विहितानि
कर्माणि
कर्माणि
तान्येषः पन्था
तान्येषः पन्थाः
अवश्यफलप्राप्ति
अवश्यफलप्राप्ति
साधनम् इत्यर्थः
साधनम् इत्यर्थः
वेरी गुड one paragraph, one long paragraph, Bhashyakara finishes the entire mantra. Okay. So he says, Tadetat Satyam Avitatham. We have already seen that Tadetat Satyam means this is Satyam. This is valid. And we have also seen that this will refer to the, finally it refers to the karmas. So these karmas, they are Satyam, valid, efficacious. And Bhashyakara says Satyam is equal to Avitatham. The word Vitatham means false. Avitatham means not false, means Satyam. So the one from which the Tatatvam goes away. Tatatvam means thatness. Thatness means whichness. The falseness goes away. Or you can put it other way, with Vitatam is from which Tattvatvam goes away, means the truthness goes away. Truthfulness goes away, or truthness, I don't know which is the right expression. So that is called Vitatam, false. It's like, suppose you are seeing a snake on the rope. Famous example. Then the snake will be called Vitatham. Why? Because it is a snake which does not have snakeness. So you are seeing the snake which really does not have snakeness. And therefore that snake will be called Vitatham. Yatha drishyate tatha nasti. So many examples are there. Even, in the desert, we see the mirage. That is also Vitatham. Water appears to be there, but it is actually not there. But on the contrary, opposite to that, Avitatham means not false, means Satyam. So Avitatham is Satyam, Satyam means valid. And Tadetat Satyam means that this is Satyam. Opening statement Acharya makes in the Upanishad. What I am going to tell you is Satyam, very valid. You don't need to look for any proof. So what is that is referred to here as Satyam, which is predicated to be Satyam? That is introduced in the next sentence. So Bhashyakara starts with the question, Kim Tat? It is just like the student asking the Acharya. Tadetat Satyam, Acharya says. Students ask, Kim Tat? What is that which you are calling Satyam, which you are referring to as Satyam? So Kim Tat means what is that? So the answer is given. The answer is Tat. Tat refers to karma which are seen by the rishis through the mantras. That is the answer. So here the Acharya is expounding mantreshu. Mantreshu literally means in the mantras. Because the verses of the Vedas are called mantras. But here mantreshu refers to the entire Vedas. So he says, Bhashyakara says, Rig Vedadi Akyeshu. Akyeshu means called. So in the mantras which are called Rigvedadi, Rigveda, etc. That means Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Samaveda. We have already seen that Atharvana Veda is not included. So, Mantreshu, Rigvedadi, Akheshu. So, in the Vedic mantras, in these three Vedas, Karmani. Karmani means the Vedic karmas, the rituals ordained in the Vedas. What are those karmas? Bhashyakara explains Agnihotra Dini, Agnihotra, etc. Etc. stands for all other karmas. Agnihotra, as we have seen earlier also in the first section, is the simplest karma, where 2 ahutis in the morning, 2 ahutis in the evening are offered. It's the simplest karma, but that karma has to be performed with the wife. So, one important condition to perform this karma daily is that one should have a wife. And she should be present and assist in the performance of karma. 2 ahutis in the morning, Suryaya Swaha, Prajapataye Swaha. In the evening, Agnaye Swaha, Prajapataye Swaha. So in the morning, ahutis are offered to Surya Devata and Prajapati. In the evening, ahutis are offered to Agni Devata and Prajapati. So it's a very simple karma. Whenever we talk about Vedic karmas, we generally say Agnihotra, etc. In fact, Agnihotra comes under Nitya karma. It has to be performed regularly like Sandhya Vandana. Only if one does Agnihotra karma regularly, he is eligible to do the other karmas. And as I said, a very important condition is husband and wife, both of them have to get up together, finish all their morning ablutions, take snanam, get ready. The wife will prepare all that is required for the Agnihotra. The husband will do Sandhya Vandanam. Then immediately following that, this karma is to be performed. Now, you can understand the reason why for most people, I would not say all, for most people like us, we do not perform this karma at all. You know the reason? It has become a very rare occurrence that the husband and wife, they wake up together and do all this, take bath in the morning and all that. If the wife is very particular about all these things, the husband will be sleeping till 8 o'clock. Or the other way around. And therefore, husband and wife and getting up together to do this, to perform this karma is a very rare occurrence. Only in very few couples you can see this. And then those couples also should have inclination for all Vedic karmas, to perform Vedic karmas. And that is why, these karmas have all become sort of gone into disuse. Of course, still there are people, some very staunch Vedic practitioners who actually perform these karmas very religiously. So these are the karmas which are talked about in the 3 Vedas, Agnihotra, etc. And this idea is further explained. Mantraihi eva prakashitani. Prakashitani here means revealed by. Mantraihi eva, mantras alone. So karmas which are revealed by mantras themselves. And those karmas, kavayaha, Bhashyakara says here Kavayah means Medhavinaha. People who are wise, people who are learned, people who are capable of seeing what cannot be seen by everybody. Medhavinaha, learned people, intelligent ones, the seers. Who are they? Vasishtadayaha means sage Vasishta and others. Vasishta Rishi has seen several mantras. Sage Vishwamitra has also seen so many mantras. In fact, Vishwamitra has seen the Gayatri mantra. Vishwamitra is the Rishi who gave Gayatri mantra to the world. Vasishta predates Vishwamitra and others, and therefore Bhashyakara says Vasishtadayaha. Yani apashyan drishtavantaha. Yani means which and refers to the karmas. Which karmas? So yani we have to connect with karmani. Which karmas, which actions, which rituals. Apashyan, he says, is equal to drishtavantaha. Apashyan goes with kavayah. So mantreshu yani karmani kavayah apashyan. Drishtavantaha. Drishtavantaha means they saw. So the karmas which the rishis saw through the mantras, those karmas are effective, they are valid. Tad etat satyam. That is said in the next sentence. Yat etat tat satyam ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat. Yat tat etat satyam. That which is this, which is being talked about, is satyam. And it refers to karma. So this expression, yat tat etat, finally refers to karma. That karma, those karmas are satyam. They are valid. How? Ekanta purushartha sadhanatvat. Here, ekanta means definite, certain. Purushartha, human goal. Sadhana means the means. So those karmas are valid because they are definite means for achieving the human goals. And of course, here we have to understand that the human goals referred to here are 3 goals, not all the 4. Dharma, Artha and Kama. So not all human goals. Of course, if you actually take into account the Paravidya also, the Upanishad portion also, because that is also part of Vedas. They are also containing the mantras. So, even though Bhashyakara is not specifically stated, because the word Tretayam is there, and Upanishads are part of all the 3 Vedas. In fact, Atharva Upanishad goes further. In fact, even though the karmas are not there in Atharva Upanishad, it has got the Brahma Vidya portion. This Mundaka Upanishad itself is part of Atharva Veda. So we can understand that Purushartha Sadhanatvat means they are all the mantras, they are valid. And therefore, all human goals, including moksha, can be achieved through these mantras, by practicing these mantras. Of course, the way you practice will be different for the first, the Karma Kanda and the Jnana Kanda differently. But when it comes to only performance of karmas, because Jnana Kanda, there is no performance. Jnana Kanda is only knowledge. So, here, the human goals of Dharma, Artha, Kama are achieved directly through the performance of these karmas. And as far as Moksha Purushartha is concerned, also these performance of these karmas with a Karma Yoga attitude leads to Chitta Shuddhi, which is a prerequisite for pursuit of Moksha Purushartha. And therefore we can say that these karmas are also valid indirectly for achieving the Moksha Purushartha. So much of meaning we can derive out of what Bhashyakara is explaining. So directly, these karmas which are there in the Karma Kanda, they are directly helpful in achieving the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha, and indirectly helpful in attaining the Moksha Purushartha, because these karmas prepare the sadhaka for a most important qualification, which is Chitta Shuddhi. That is how we have to understand the validity of these karmas. Next, Bhashyakara takes up the second quarter of the mantra. Tani tretayam bahuda santatani. We have already read Tani cha Veda Vihitani Rishi Drishtani Karmani Tretayam Trayi Sanyoga Lakshanayam Hotra Advarya Audgatra Prakarayam Adhikarana Bhutayam Bahuda Bahuprakaram Santatani Pravrittani Karmibihi Kriyamanani Tretayam va yuge prayashaha pravrittani. So this is the next part, the second quarter of the mantra which Bhashyakara takes. So he says Tani cha. Again, Tani means those karmas. The karmas which have been seen by the rishis in the mantras. Cha means and. Tani cha means and those karmas. And Bhashyakara makes it very clear. He says Veda Vihitani means prescribed by the Vedas, ordained in the Vedas. And Rishi Drishtani Karmani, the karmas which are seen by the rishis. Drishtani means seen. So the karmas which are seen by the rishis in the form of mantras, and which karmas are ordained in the Vedas. Tretayam means in the three Vedas. Basically, the word Treta means that which is threefold or a triad. And here in the context, triad refers to Vedas, the three Vedas. And Bhashyakara explains Trayi Sanyoga Lakshanayam. Sanyoga here is in the sense of group, in the triad, which is in the form of group of three. Lakshanayam means in the form of. So in the triad, which is in the form of the group of three, and the group of three refers to three Vedas. And in the three Vedas, what type of three Vedas? He says Hautra, Advaryuhu, Audgatra, Prakarayam. Prakarayam means the method. the methods of Hautra or the duty of Hautra, then the duty of Advaryu and Udgatra, duty of Udgata are given. Now these duties are prescribed in the Vedas. And we have seen this idea in detail in the first section. I have actually explained how these large rituals, yajnas are performed, different Vedas representing different sets of practitioners. Atharvana Veda also is included. All that we have seen. But I'm not very sure whether you will remember all the details, but we will just touch upon some points. So understand this Bhashyam, we have to understand certain points. One is that any medium or big size ritual will be consisting of various steps, where so many priests are there, and number of steps will be there. For example, even when we do a puja like a Ganesh Chaturthi puja or Krishna Janmashtami puja, Saraswati puja, etc., it is one puja consisting of many steps, and each step is called an upachara. Vedas prescribe 16 steps to be followed in such pujas, and that is why they are called Shodashopachara puja. Shodasha means 16. Similarly, in some of the Vedic rituals, large rituals, there will be a homa or a yaga. That will be one ritual. And for some important homas or yagas, the Vedas prescribe very elaborate procedure involving all the three Vedas. It will be consisting of many steps, many rites, many activities. And those activities are classified into three groups. One group is called Rigveda Vihita Karma. Second is called Yajurveda Vihita Karma. And the third is called Samaveda Vihita Karma. And the Rigveda Vihita Karma is done by a person who is called a Hota. Rigveda Vihita Karma means karma or the duty prescribed in Rigveda, and which is done by a particular person called Hota. Then the duties prescribed in Yajurveda is done by a person called Advaryu. The priest who is doing the duties, doing the steps in the ritual, which is prescribed in Yajurveda, is called Advaryu. And the one who is doing the duty prescribed in Samaveda is called Udgata. So three types of duties are there. Each of the Vedas prescribed various duties. And we have to invoke the Devatas. Then we have to glorify them. And then we have to give them something offering, Oblations, Naivedyam. All these are duties. And those duties are done by three types of priests belonging to the respective Vedas. And there is a name given to the duty done by these priests. The duty done by Rigveda priest, Hota, is called Hautra or Hautra Karma. And the duty generally will be invoking the Devatas, doing Dhyanam, Avahanam, etc. Then the Yajurveda priest is called Advaryu. His duty is called Advaryam Karma. So Advaryam is the duty done by Advaryu, the Yajurveda priest, the duties described in Yajurveda. And the duties done by Udgata, as prescribed in Samaveda, is called Audgatra. So the names of the duties are Hautra, Advaryam, Hautra for Rigveda duties, Advaryam for Yajurveda duties, and Audgatra duties prescribed in Samaveda. Now one legitimate question. Is there no duty prescribed for Atharva Veda priest? Is Atharva Veda irrelevant for such rituals? It is a valid question. Because our culture is an all-inclusive culture. Anything that we do, we want to involve everybody. Isn't it? And moreover, the Mundaka Upanishad, as I said, belongs to Atharva Veda. And as I said, Atharva Veda doesn't have these steps which are used in these general rituals, which are prevalent rituals. But the Vedas feel that the person who is knowing Atharva Veda should also be given some duty. As I said, we have been an inclusive society right from Vedic times. We have always believed and practiced Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. And therefore, what is the duty given to the priest from Atharva Veda? Vedas give a very, very important duty to the priest from Atharva Veda, and that is the duty of a supervisor. He is the supervisor of all the three. The Hota, Advaryu, Udgata will be supervised by the Atharva Veda scholar. The correct performance of the duties by these respective priests is supervised by the Atharva Veda scholar. And that is why the Atharva Veda scholar, who is presiding over all the three, he is called Brahma. So Brahma, not Brahmaji and not Brahman. The Atharva Veda scholar is called Brahma. He presides, supervisor, oversees the correct performance of the respective duties by the other three Veda priests. So the first three will be active, whereas this Brahma will be doing the job of supervising. And his job is a very difficult job, mind you. It is not just watching over what they are doing. It may look like an easy job because it looks like he doesn't need to perform anything, do anything. But most important, he has to be qualified and well versed in the rituals and procedure of performing them prescribed in each of the other three Vedas. So just see his qualification. First qualification is that he should be knowing Atharva Veda thoroughly. In fact, he should be an expert in Atharva Veda. Because being an expert in Atharva Veda gets him the job of Brahma. Then he has to have a very good understanding of the rituals prescribed in Rigveda, Yajurveda, and Samaveda. Because the one who knows alone can supervise. And in the course of performance of the ritual, if one of the three priests commit any mistake, then he will say, Om, 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 Om. He will stop it. The moment Brahma says Om, 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 all the priests or the priests who are performing that ritual at that particular point in time will understand that there's something gone wrong. They will stop. He will not say, no, stop it and all that. No, he will just say Om. Om is a very, very, very useful sound. So for so many things, for greeting others, say Om. When somebody is doing namaskara to you, say Om. Om is Ishvara. So, first he will say Om and stop it. And because those priests have committed some mistake, he will now tell them, you do this japa as a prayaschitta. So his job is also not only to supervise the mantra, the karmas, performance of the karmas. If something goes wrong, he has to prescribe some prayaschitta also. That also you should know for which type of mistake what prayaschitta should be done. And the prayaschitta should not also be based on Vedas. Not, he will not say that, okay, get up and do 10 times, catch your ears like we used to do in schools, sit and get up, sit and get up 10 times. No, not like that. Official prayaschitta which are prescribed in the Vedas, as per law prescribed in the Shastra. So he should know all that also for prescribing the prayaschitta. Therefore, this Brahma, this Atharva Veda scholar, priest, he has to know all the three Vedas, all the karmas which are prescribed, especially the karma which is being done. For example, if there is a, say, Putra Kameshti Yaga, which Dasarada performed. So the Brahma will know all. What are all the rituals by different Vedas prescribed in the different Vedas for Putra Kameshti Yagam. And then he has to know his own Veda also, Atharva Veda. Then he has to know what are the prayashchittas. When the things are going wrong, then what are the prayashchittas. Such a knowledgeable person he has to be. And therefore, he has to be a Chaturvedi. In fact, there is a caste, Chaturvedi, in North India, in UP and all, you will find. Maybe one of those ancestors of today's Chaturvedi, I don't know whether they don't even know Vedas, anything. But the ancestor, one of the ancestors must have been a Chaturvedi, a person who knew all the four Vedas. Of course, it need not necessarily mean that only Atharvana Veda Rishi must be, because even a Rig Veda priest can learn all the four Vedas. Chaturvedi basically means the one who knows all the four Vedas. So a Rigvedi doesn't have to become a Yajurvedi. He has to do only his duty. He has to do only Hautra Karma. Advaryu has to do only Advaryam Karma. Udgata has to do only Udgatra Karma. But this Brahma does not perform any karma, but has to supervise the other three, and for which he has to know all three Vedas, especially the relevant portion he has to know. And in fact, nowadays, we don't find such Brahma. And that is why the Brahma's position in these rituals is a very high position. Of course, Bhashyakara mentions only three, but it is interesting to know the prescriptions in the Vedas. So, Hautra, Advaryam, Audgatra, these three karmas, these rituals are very well prescribed in the three Vedas and are well spread all over the three Vedas. That is what is said here. Tretayam Hautra Advarya Audgatra Prakaraya. Then he says Adhikarana Bhutaya. Adhikarana means locus. So Adhikarana Bhutayam Tretayam. It means the Treta, the three Vedas, which is in the form of locus or location. So all the karmas are spread over. In English, we say, spread over the Vedas. The word over, spread over is implying a location. So the meaning till now would be the karmas are spread or described in the Treta, the triad, which is in the form of location, and in which the methods of action or the duties of Potra, Advaryu, and Udgata are given. And in what manner they are given? Bhashyakara says, Bahu Prakaram. This, from this onwards, we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavada hai everyone.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Hari Om.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
నమస్కారం గురుజీ.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుజీ.
ధన్యవాదాలు గురుజీ.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Very well explained today about the all the Vedas and the rituals. I think lot of clarity has come. Thank you very much.
All thanks, my gurus. Whatever I have learned, I am sharing with you. And I feel that, we're going beyond the Bhashyam, because there are certain things which are really, we do not know about all these things, and it's a very good opportunity to know about at least those things. That is it. Somebody asks, at least we can tell them that this is how things are. The scheme of Vedas is like this. That is it. Yeah. Yes.
Namaste Guruji. Thank you very much.
Hari
I
Om.
have two short questions, but they're not of, they're more out of interest rather than subject matter, Guruji. One is about the Vyakarana, the Sanskrit thing. In the second sentence where it says Apashyan and Drishtavantaha, Apashyan is Lang Lakarha past tense, and Drishtavantaha is Twandam. Both are to me both
Bhashyakara-
sound very similar, but then why are
Apashyan
those two
is-
words like that?
Yeah, Apashyan is the verbal form. Right. Drishtavantaha is the same
Okay.
thing expressed in.
Yeah, Twandam or what, if I remember correctly, it is.
So meaning is same.
Meaning is same. But
Bhashyakara
usually,
normally, he uses if it is the verb form, then he will use it in a this thing. What is that called?
Lang Lakara.
Suddenly that word is missing. In yes, wait. The other form, in for
La-
Padam.
Twandam or
Yeah,
Lang Lakara.
Twanta, that form, that's all. Where verbs can be, actions can be expressed in both the forms. So Bhashyakara, if this is used, he will use that to explain. If that is used, he will use this to explain. That is Bhashyakara.
Because he has both used next side
Same
by side
meaning
at
only.
the same time.
That's why past tense.
Same meaning.
Apashyan is past tense. Drishtavantaha also past tense.
Oh,
So,
okay, Guruji,
yes,
thank you. Guruji, the three roles, the three terms, and the roles for the yajnas, Hota, Advarya, and Udgata, and their
Hota,
actions.
Advaryu, and Udgata.
Udgata. So, and their actions are as Hauta, Audar,
Hautra,
Advaryam.
Advarya,
Advarya, not Advaryam.
Udgatra.
Udgatra. And for the fourth, the one who is the
Atharvana Veda. Brahma.
term for
Atharva Veda priest,
Sanskrit words for the other three.
Fourth one
I
is
mean,
Brahma. Brahma.
Brahma.
Akara ending.
Brahma.
Brahma.
Okay, he is called Brahma itself. And what he does the action of supervision has it got any term?
Yes. He is a team leader.
Team leader. So उसके लिए कुछ term है गुरुजी? Is there any term for what he does?
No, Brahma, that's all.
That's all, Brahma.
There is no other term.
Okay.
Brahma means that is his job. That's all.
Brahma is job. His job is his position and his job. Both.
Position job. He is like the guard in railway, this thing. Something goes wrong, he will wave a red flag like that. He has to.
Yes.
If things are going on fine,
Yeah.
he will keep quiet. He will not do anything. But if something goes wrong, he will immediately flag it. And then
Yes.
there is a prayashchitta, and he will put a punishment also, minor punishment.
All right. Okay. That's something very, very interesting to know, because we have always wondered why there are so many priests when they perform any homa. At least 4 or 5 are there in any homa that's performed, and their role. Yeah, today I understood why there are so many priests.
But of course, now even very big functions and all, I have only seen only one function, where this was done in this
In
fashion.
500 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Somebody is unmuted.
No, Guruji, I'm sorry, it's me. My husband is driving, and that's the navigation which was speaking. I've silenced it now. I'm
Okay.
sorry about that.
So, this Sri Krishna sweets, very famous in South India. Sri Krishna.
Yes.
There, this Mysore Park was started.
Yes.
So their owner, he performed his 60th birthday. And he is a trustee in the Arshavidya Gurukulam, that is Shruti Seva Trust, and also very close to Pujya Swamiji. So he had invited Pujya Swamiji for that function in Coimbatore. That time we were all studying in this thing, in the Gurukulam. So Pujya Swamiji said, I will come on one condition, I will bring all my students. Because I want them to witness how these big rituals are done. But these people don't get to see them at all. So that was Pujya Swamiji gave us a wonderful opportunity. And there we went and saw how that whole thing beautifully organized. The hotras in one, the hotas in one place, advaryus, board and all, Yajurveda, advaryus, Rigveda, and all that, So we could easily make out, these are hota, these are advaryus, and here is a Brahma, one group of people. In fact, Brahma is one position, but he will have assistants also, So 2-3 people, Brahma sitting, they will say, oh, this fellow has committed a mistake like that. Tell the master. So it was but honestly speaking, one has to be again have a lot of Gishwara's grace to even witness such rituals.
Yes,
very, very difficult. Nobody performs all these detailed rituals. So that is the beauty of the whole system of Vedas. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Dhanyavad. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Yes, Sitaram, your hand had gone up, but now missing.
Yeah. No, Lataji was so animated, so I didn't want to interrupt.
No, I was waiting for her to finish. She's in the car. I think
I had only one point to make. No questions as such. The language is so simple. If you know Hindi, basic Hindi, you can easily understand the direction in which the entire Bhashyam is.
Yeah. Actually, Bhashyam is very, very nice,
And that's the beauty of Shankaracharya's.
Realized it. Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is, the more you hear the Bhashyam, the more you become familiar with the language, Sanskrit language also.
Yes.
And since we have got a much better understanding of Hindi and all that, being born and brought up in North India,
yes,
these words becomes easy for us to understand.
Yes. So I just wanted to make us comment. Felt.
Yeah. That is very true. Very true. Okay, good.
Thank you. Namaskar. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Anything else? Okay, then we'll close the session. Continue next week. Hari Om. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.